Hey, welcome back to the Wise and Tries building channel. My name is Jacob, and today we are building the exhibit for Dryosaurus with a twist. Dryosaurus is a species that we have never built before, and it also contains really special thing from the latest Prehistoric Kingdom update that also is included in this exhibit. But starting from the beginning, I have to say really sorry that again, the video is not at Monday 11 a.m. Polish time, that it is late again. I'm so sorry for that because, again, out of the blue, it turned out that I have just some stuff to do before playing, before editing the video, so I can, with my clear mind, sit and just play around in the game and then go to my program and then make the video for you guys, so everything would be nice, watchable, and also it will be entertaining. So I have time to make everything work. So again, I'm so sorry for that, but with my schedules that change quite a lot, I got to be very flexible. And recently I got some stuff that I have have to do first before my hobbies, before my gaming sessions, etc. So that's the most important ones. So yeah, what's the idea about this entire habitat? The idea is to bring the Dryosaurus to our world firstly and give it the habitat that at some point would resemble its past. Because let's remember, we are building for the Dryosaurus, the dinosaur, which name suggests maybe it not suggests, it means the tree lizard. And that's the dinosaur from the late Jurassic North America, found in the Morrison Formation. And I would like to rebuild something like the late Jurassic forest habitat, also combined it with the mountain in the background to bring just a little bit of interest and bring Dryosaurus a higher point of view to our guests that would be walking down the path. So the Dryosaurus also have some entertainment inside the habitat, and also they look more menacing uphill. So that was the main idea about this habitat. And also we got something that I think also mentioned in the very quick tour part, but because I recommend it first before the voiceover for the speed build, and that's the place where the baby Dryosaurus can sit, and the research about hatchling and also the development of baby dinosaurs is being made. And the room was inspired, it was maybe in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the scene where Owen was just watching those old videos from Jurassic World when he was playing around with baby velociraptors. So I came up with the same drill, so our baby Dryosaurus have actually the place to roam. Also, we got maybe it was adolescence, I don't know, maybe not adolescence, the juvenile Dryosaurus. We got, I think, two or three, and one of them is special because that's the melanistic specimen. That one is melanistic, and also I think I will put it in the thumbnail if I will be able to do so. And also, why we have babies? Because of course, recently, Prehistoric Kingdom get amazing update 14, where every single species in the game got its own baby. And the team of Prehistoric Kingdom did an incredible job because they maybe because they did the homework that maybe Planet Zoo or Jurassic World Evolution 3 also should do, I think. Because in Planet Zoo, we get this also interesting system. Actually, that was the first game ever when I saw the baby animals. So the animals are birth, you got the baby animal model, but then it just pops and you got the adult specimen of the species. Prehistoric Kingdom, of course, you got this baby animals from the year zero, let's call it that way, the animal which is just a few months old, but still you got that impressive ontogeny that was also added in update 13. The ontogeny that makes the animals grow seamlessly. So it brings a lot of more life to the game itself and also from the animals, because that's not only the dinosaurs, but these are also the prehistoric mammals that are introduced in this game, and it is mind blowing for me what the team did. Actually, I have to say that I was waiting for something like that from the bigger studio, just like maybe Frontier or something else, or the else bigger studio. But we got this smaller individual game, indie game, that made this beautiful, great feature, and I really hope it will be introduced in more games. But this Prehistoric Kingdom made this beautiful milestone when it comes to baby animals in those kind of games. So I also gave them some love because I didn't have time again to do it when the update came out. So we got this really weird break from the news of this beautiful update, and then you got my channel and say, hey, I got the build for the Dryosaurus. It also introduced new babies, but yeah, that's the technical issue, and yeah, I'm actually really proud of that. Maybe not proud. Proud is a very bad word, but I got this idea and this entire habitat really well, and I really hope when if Dryosaurus could came back to life to our times, it would be able actually to breathe our atmosphere, and it wouldn't be too cold, or the percentage of the oxygen wouldn't be too high or too low for them. Also the carbon dioxide, etc. They would be happy in this habitat. But that's very technical issues. That's something that we won't talk about a lot because I'm not an expert. I'm just a dinosaur fan. But coming back to update 14, it also introduced something which is great for me because, as you know, I'm doing in those kind of speed builds very quick tours for you at the end of the speed builds, and the addition of first person mode to that is great. Like, that's one of those cherries on top, that you got all of those baby animals. It's great. You are playing around and you are liking the topic, and then you are just realizing, ah, yeah, you got this first person mode, you can try it out, and you're like, yeah, sure. And also it is expanded, so it's not just like in Jurassic World Evolution 2 that you got just the camera that it stick to the eye of guests point of that the guest point of view are going around. It's still a step forward, but still it is far from what Prehistoric Kingdom did, because we got these camera features, but also we can jump and crouch, which I also tested out and really liking this new beautiful addition. So we were talking about some stuff that was also necessary for this video, but now in the speed build you can see me building this mountain. And while building this mountain, I can tell about something that also is really important in that kind of build, is to pop your animals first into the habitat. And actually it is my both success that I did it firstly with the Dryosaurus, because there was this really big danger that the entire habitat would be too big or too small, because we got actually maybe not so big, but maybe we got something like interesting number of Dryosaurs, let's call it that way. It's something in the middle, and I don't want them, maybe it's not just a video game, but still I want to give them a lot of space, maybe enough space, so they will be feeling comfortable, or the habitat itself will be also quite realistic, so it's not so expansive. And also it is important to make the shape of the habitat, the entrances, and the entire size of the habitat right, but also the mountain, because I wanted it to stack out, but also I wanted the Dryosaurus to be able to come up, just like I said, to be standing over there menacing, just like maybe the deers in Planet Zoo, or the goat species on this enrichment item. And actually I was thinking about this enrichment item while I was planning this habitat. So that's from where the idea, one of the ideas for the habitat turned out. I really liked it. So I knew the traversable area for the dinosaurs, and also I knew how the mountain could be big enough to be not so menacing, and also to be able for the Dryosaurus to use it also as the cave, outdoor cave. Let's call it that way. And yeah, I built the basic stuff for the mountain itself, and now I'm going to build the shelter itself. I'm building the doors. Also, I would like to say that I wanted to make this really guest entertaining because for the guests you got those two points of view. You got the point of view where you are just standing outdoors, you are watching the habitats, and the Dryosaurus are walking around. You are separated by the moat, etc. This, I don't know, maybe it was the haha barrier or something like that. I don't remember quite well how it was called, but still, and also got this indoor view where at some hours, maybe Nigel Marver himself, some educator could come and teach the guests that would gather about the dinosaurs that will be going in and out of the shelter, and also the baby animals, which you can also look in. And that's also the way why you got certain hours, because let's be honest, big amounts of people would visit this place, and the big amounts of Homo sapiens in one place could be really stressful for animals. So yes, so our dry stores will get some space, free space, so the center could be closed for a while, or just the babies shelter could be closed for a while. Everything will be operational, so our both guests and our dinosaurs would be happy to stay in it. We brought out of the extension, so their existence in this mother world will be they will be feeling quite well because actually they shouldn't be here. So let's be sure that they are happy in the place where they are. And so yeah, what also can I say? I can say that it can be looking weird, but again, with every single build actually from the Prehistoric Kingdom for now, we are pretending that that's the part of the bigger project, bigger habitat. Also, I was thinking that this mountain will be semi-natural, semi-artificial. I mean that the mountain itself could be there for a very long time. It will be natural mountain, but then they came up and say, yeah, we can expand it to make it into the exhibit. And also that's the not only exhibit that could be attached to this mountain, also just behind it could be another exhibit also attached to it, but also it could be the backdrop for the entire maybe forest section or for the entire zoo, small zoo that you could build for the dinosaurs. So a lot of ideas could come up with that. You can add some interesting lore. And also I would like to say just a bit why we are adding Dryosaurus, because every single species got babies, and also that was the point why I'm building now in Prehistoric Kingdom. Because Dryosaurus, I think it's really interesting species because it's beautiful, it's like it's cute, and actually it is also well known, but not really, because when you are talking to people which are not everyday like dinosaur fans, they could say that Dryosaurus it's not necessarily the animal that they know, but they for sure know Triceratops or Tyrannosaurus. So let's say it's something like the mid tier. So a lot of people know about it, but maybe not as much as the Triceratops, etc. It is nice, and also it is really helpful for the lore for the entire project. Why? That's why, because you are using it to this habitat, it's the animal that is a herbivore. It's not so dangerous to human. Maybe it can pose a danger to Homo sapiens still, but it's not so dangerous as the Triceratops or the Ankylosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's for sure. So your guest can be actually enjoyed with the animal that will be quite calm, and also it won't be as expensive for the park as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because maybe Tyrannosaurus itself, this entire habitat, this stuff, and also this center could be really expensive to be contained properly. But still, it's not the center that would be built for the Brachiosaurus, for example, because it will be at least 3 times as size as this habitat is. So that's the point. So, and also the Dryosaurus is also very versatile. Maybe that's just a little bit bigger, maybe just a little bit smaller. And for now, I'm so sorry because I'm not sure about the exact metrics, but it also can resemble some species, just like the Otnelia or the Hypsilophodon. So it is versatile, it's nice, beautiful, and it has beautiful skins. Of course, you can just also relate that the fully grown or the middle grown, the juvenile, they are other species. Also, Dryosaurus in Prehistoric Kingdom have other skins. So you can, so now from the one species, you got just a little bit, maybe three or four. Just that's the point of imagination, because you got a little bit, a lot more creativity in this game than in Jurassic World Evolution 2. But still, using your imagination in all of those creative games is really, really important. And yeah, you can see me that I'm adding those details for the rock wall, for the entire mountain. I will be adding little artificial waterfall to add just a little bit of life to this habitat, because yeah, I'm liking it, I'm loving it, and the waterfalls are always good addition if they are not feel out of place. So you got just flat exhibit and then a rock out of nowhere and the waterfalls coming up. That's weird, but over here it looks actually nice in my opinion. And also I'm adding some grasses, some, so these are those last details that you would like to add to the habitat. I know that I could use the foliage brush tool. I am using it quite a lot. It's great, and I'm loving this addition. In love with this addition. But I decided that I won't be able to find the exact density that I will be happy with. So it will be too dense or not dense as much as I wanted it. So I was placing it individually, just like those bushes, just like those grasses, and also the pebbles. And also I added something at the end to the mountain, the bushes. I just grabbed one piece of bush, maybe it was from the scrubland biome, I can't remember right now. And then I was just spamming it all around this mountain, and it turned out to be quite good. I was really liking it. And it brought a lot of more life to this entire habitat. Yeah, that was groundbreaking for me, because actually I was using rocks in those games quite. They were they were looking artificial, especially in Prehistoric Kingdom. They get this maybe natural texture, but it not give me maybe the vibes of nature that I really wanted to. I'm going with. So adding those flowering, adding all of those stuff, it's great, and I'm loving it. I'd also really recommend for you to do SpeedBuild that things like that. So that's the last minute of the speed build. Now I'm adding some additional pieces, some details for the staff section of the hard shelter for the Dryosaurus, and also then I will be adding this water pumping system for the artificial waterfall, just to add the point of interest to the roofs, which is stuff that I don't usually do. I don't like using it because I don't usually know what to put on those roofs. So something like that will be attached to our artificial rocks could be great, and it will be happening in the minute. I built this because this system was built like, I don't know how it should be looking, and you can see me over here very quick to maybe not to the speed, but how I did that. I used this cooling system, and then I was adding those metal tops and also the barrels from the stuff props, and then I recolored it and attached it to the roof. But that will be the end for the speed build. I really hope you enjoyed this speed build, and see you in the part where I will give you a very quick tour. So see you there. And now we are on our very quick tour, first time in the new first person mode that was just added in the last update, and already I'm loving it so much. So coming up, we can see the outdoor section of the habitat. Over here, our beautiful animals can have some drink or take a swim from time to time. and just roam around this habitat. Over here, they have access to the ordinary shelter, the normal shelter that was prepared also for the babies, and also the outdoor shelter, which is the cave inside this mountain, which, in my opinion, turned out really well. I did something like that first time, and actually adding lots and lots of foliage bring a lot of life to this place. And also the main idea was to make this shelf in the mountain so the Dryosaurus can go up and look majestic from the point over there. Sadly, we don't have the enrichment for this dinosaur yet, so for now there is no reason for them to go up there. But yeah, so that will be all from the outdoor section of the habitat. Our little one is having a swim. So going past this waterfall, and actually going next over here, we got another beautiful view of the entire habitat. And the music is playing in the background from the Prehistoric Kingdom, which I also really like. Listening to it, we can just watch our dinosaurs from this also interesting point of view. If you are tired, you can go back over there and sit for a bit, have a drink of coffee or a tea, and just look at our dinosaurs, or we can go to this shelter section for the guests. We get the dinosaur name over here, the Dryosaurus. I think that's the Dryosaurus altus. Yeah, that's the Dryosaurus altus. And over here we got this guest section where our guest can come closer to these windows and look at the Dryosaurus at the heart shelter. And over here it's something that I introduced because of course. I'm so sorry I cannot speak today. Because of this update, it was just a little bit inspired by the Jurassic World. It was maybe Fallen Kingdom, the scene when Owen was playing around with the baby velociraptors. So I came up with this very similar vibe. So we got this room that can be closed by, so the dinosaurs, the older dinosaurs, cannot come in. So the babies have some time with the keepers, they can play around, and the research can be taken also the normal research just from the playing around, etc., and hatchling from the eggs. So actually, that will be all from this habitat. I really hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.